Has your cube ever become extremely slow, or is it now too uncontrollable, or have the pieces become dusty? You probably know that once cubes get like this, they start turning horribly, not how they were originally. Or a cube out of the box might not feel that great. Maybe it's too fast, too slow. Well, that could all be fixed with some lubes. So here I have a really exciting unboxing to make of 4 new lubricants. Got some Perez Light, we've got normal Perez lube, and we've also got Luboss. Here are the 4 lubricants we are going to be checking out in this video. So these 4 lubricants can all be found on speedcubing.org, and they've come out very recently, and I've heard some great things about them, so let's check them out. So these 4 lubricants are from 2 different brands. We've got Luboss and we've got Perez. Now, from what I've heard, Luboss is designed to make the puzzle become really, really fast, and Perez is designed to make the puzzle smoother. So I'll firstly be checking out Luboss. So Luboss comes in 2 different types. There's this one, which is Luboss Drive, and this one is supposed to make the puzzle become much, much faster. It's also got some pretty low viscosity. And the other one we have is Luboss Rapid. So this one is going to make the cube faster, as well as also making it a bit smoother. And this one has got a much higher viscosity, which means it's got like more of a medium softness to it. So to actually test these lubes, I'm going to test with all 4 of them using 4 cheese cells. They all are pretty dry at the moment, so if we add in some lube, we will see. So let's firstly add in Luboss Drive, which is supposed to make the puzzle become really fast, and I will lubricate this one. So I think you're supposed to put in roughly a couple drops in. Add in a couple drops, there's 1, and then once it's in, we're gonna break it in. So before, this cube felt quite dry, but now it's feeling, yeah. So the more I'm turning it, the more I'm noticing it's getting faster, and wow, this is getting really fast. It makes the puzzle a lot faster, which is great. Now we're going to be checking out Luboss Rapid. So Luboss Rapid is supposed to be like this, but it's also going to give it more of that smooth feel, so it's going to make it faster, and it's going to make it smoother. And also, this looks like a nice and big bottle, so it should be long lasting. Add in a couple of drops. Wow, this is feeling faster than it was before. I don't know if it's really that much smoother, to be honest. It feels fast, but it feels better. I'm gonna add in a bit more. Oh, wow. This honestly feels so good. I don't even think it feels that much slower than this lube, to be honest. I can definitely tell it has made it faster, but it's done it to the right level. It does feel, I guess, a bit smooth. I mean, it feels more fast rather than smooth. I don't feel like this one is really that much slower, to be fair. It feels like it's done the same thing. It's made the puzzle faster, but better faster. Overall, I'm really impressed with Luboss. If you just want to speed up the cube, then Luboss Drive is the right choice. If you want to do that, as well as giving it an all-round nice and smooth feel, then you'll use Luboss Rapid. So these are the lubes from Luboss. Highly recommend them. Now it's time to check out the lubes from Perez. So unlike Luboss, which makes the puzzles become really fast, Perez is actually going to make the cube become a lot smoother, and it might slow it down a little bit, but to a way that's going to make it more controllable. There's Perez and Perez Light. Perez basically just slows down the cube. It makes it way smoother. It's got a very high viscosity. Perez Light is going to be making it smoother, as well as making it faster. And this has got more of a medium viscosity. I'll firstly be checking out Perez. As I'm doing this, I notice this is a really big bottle of lube, which I think will be a really good thing, as it will probably last me a very long time. All right, I've added in a few drops. Wow, I'm noticing this feels really smooth. It has slowed it down a little bit. I guess it does a similar job to lubrical seals. Actually, I might prefer this. This really does make the puzzle smooth. It does what it says. It makes it smooth. Now we're going to be checking out Perez Light, which is going to do more all-around stuff. It's going to make it smoother and a little bit faster at the same time with its more medium viscosity. Again, it's a huge bottle. Let's add in some drops. Basically, it feels like it's done a very similar thing to normal Perez. It's made the cube become smoother, but not as much. It does more of that smoothness than the fast feel. I wouldn't say it's slowed it down, but it hasn't really made it much faster, not too much I'm noticing, but it definitely has made the cube a bit smoother, which is great. So this is the really fast cube that has got Luboss Drive in it. This cube has got Luboss Rapid, which I would probably say I think is my favorite run right now. well. And this one has got Perez, which feels nice and smooth. And we've got this one, which has Perez Light, which feels smooth as well as, I guess, a little bit faster. So anyway, these are probably the best lubes you can find on speedcubing.org. So I guess you've got like this whole spectrum of what a lube is supposed to do. Luboss Drive, which is the fastest, and then you've got Luboss Rapid and Perez Light in the middle. Perez, that's gonna make it smoother, fast to smooth. So in terms of going in the middle, I would think that both these lubes would do like a very similar thing. It's supposed to make it faster and smoother. Perez Light is obviously gonna focus a bit more on smoothness than it does making it faster, whereas Luboss Rapid is gonna focus a bit more on speed. Honestly, I prefer Luboss Rapid because I think speed is probably one of like the most important things. But if you're someone who like doesn't want their cube to be too uncontrollable, I think Perez would be a good idea. Or just get the whole set, which is what I did. And thanks so much to speedcubing.org for sending me these. Now I'm going to be testing it all into my mains and see how they do. So I'm firstly going to have a go at putting these lubes into the Tornado V3. What? I never knew this could happen to a Tornado V3. Okay, I gotta fix this off camera. Oh no, I just fixed this piece back in for the Tornado V3. You can see that this isn't in properly. I just like snapped off one of the pieces. It's still in and we can work with it now. Anyway, one thing I noticed about the Tornado V3 is, especially at the moment, it feels like it might need speeding up a little bit. So I think I'm gonna go for one of the speed lubricants, and I'll probably look at Luboss Rapid to just speed it up a little bit. Oh, whoops, I put in a bit too much there. Anyway, turning this, oh my gosh, this does feel really good. I feel like when you're like putting this into an actual speed cube, it does feel really good. Like when I put it into the cell, it felt like it's done something great to it, but I obviously didn't notice much of the difference because they are budget cubes. But with this one, it's like a premium cube. I guess it does feel a lot better. I really love this. Like this is probably like the lube I'd use like right before competitions if a cube feels too slow. It just does it straight away. It makes it better, and it doesn't make it fast in a way that makes it too uncontrollable. Luboss Rapid just makes it faster in like the best way ever. Anyway, I'm gonna try out lubricating more of my mains. I'm gonna lubricate the Yoo-hoo, and I've noticed this has gotten a bit dry and it feels like it could do a little bit better speeding up. So I'm gonna take a look at adding Luboss Drive. Needs a bit of that, so let's add in like a couple drops. I find the Yoo-hoo Megaminx gets dry quite often. Like as soon as I add in lube, it makes it feel a lot better. Wow, yeah, this is definitely feeling so much faster. And I think Luboss Drive is a very good one for just instantly speeding it up. I think just like a little bit of Perez might make it smoother. With a bit of Perez, it actually does like feel like it's got more of that well-rounded feels. I feel like Luboss Drive and Perez go pretty well together. Now let's test it out with my GAN 13 maglev, which is my main cube. I feel like it's feeling pretty good at the moment, but I feel like it might be missing some of that smooth feel. So I wonder what it'll be like with the Perez, because right now it does feel like super fast. I think I'll add in like a few drops. It still feels really fast, but it feels smoother as well. It does such a good job at making it smooth. I think I want to do a solve on the GAN 13 because I actually really like how this has felt after adding Perez. Oh, 873. Right, so it looks like I'm getting some pretty decent times, like 8 and 9. It seems like this lube is going to make me like very consistent. Now, why not try this out on a cube that's really hard to control? The Raylong Pyraminx maglev. Now, I've always found this to be way too fast for me. I'm thinking, why don't I add in as much Perez lube as I can to slow this down and make it smoother? Because I have really been impressed how well Perez has been for me so far. And maybe we'll notice like a pretty good difference. It does feel better than how it did before. 428. Yeah, I haven't practiced Pyraminx in ages, so I'm actually think that's a really good time for me. I feel like I actually have the control of this Pyraminx. Okay, I might actually have to have a think about this cube because it's getting me quite good times. Anyway, I think I'm going to try out this lube with an RS3M 2020, which is getting a bit slower right now. So this one, I'm going to put in Luboss Rapid just to make it faster, but I don't want it to be too much faster because it already feels like it's quite nice at the moment. Yeah, just fast and smooth. I still think Luboss Rapid is my favorite out of all of them. The RS3M 2021 maglev is another cube which I own that feels pretty dry at the moment. And it definitely needs to be smooth, but only to some extent. So I'm going to put in a few drops of Perez Light. And this is a really good cube. I probably added in too much, but Anyway, maybe more is better because it's gonna make it smoother. And wow, yeah, I'm impressed. It does a very similar thing to normal Perez, but it makes it a bit faster as well. So you can buy all 4 of these lubricants off speedcubing.org. And if I were to make my recommendations right now, if you wanted just one lubricant, I would probably just recommend Luboss Rapid. It's just so good. It makes the cube much faster, but in a way that doesn't make it uncontrollable. It makes it faster and smoother and just gives it a huge, well-rounded effect. Yeah, it's the best lube out of all of these so far. I think Luboss Drive and Perez go together to make a really good combination. I think between Perez and Perez Lite, I'm really impressed by Perez, but not so much by Perez Lite. But that's for at the moment. So I only put these lubes in a few puzzles in this video, but after, I'm going to spend like the next couple days putting this in like as many of my cubes as possible, and then I will then get back to you on my final thoughts. Perez, Perez Lite, Luboss Drive and Luboss Rapid have become my favourite lubricants. They have each given my cube such a great feeling of smooth and fast. Perez is insanely brilliant at making the speed cube feel much smoother. As soon as you put it into the puzzle, the cube instantly becomes far more controllable. I cannot recommend this choice enough to anyone who wants their cube to have control with its high viscosity. Perez Lite was a lube which I didn't really notice much effect right after putting it in the cube, but as soon as I started solving, my times were insane. I was having the cube that feels tremendously smooth while also not being slow. I would highly recommend this lubricant to anyone wanting to make their cube feel smoother without slowing it down. Luboss Drive is super amazing at speeding up the puzzle instantly. If your cube is too slow and you just need to make it turn faster, Luboss Drive will do exactly that. The only downside is that this lube doesn't focus at all on making it more controllable. This may cause you to have a speed cube that's too fast, which may result in you overshooting. Not saying this lube isn't great, but if you are considering it, I'd probably recommend mixing it with something like Perez. But it is completely up to you on how you would like your cube to turn, and a lot of it comes down to personal preference. Luboss Rapid was a lubricant which I straight away loved from the beginning. Just like Luboss Drive, this focuses a lot on speed, but it also makes the cube feel smoother at the same time. This means that yes, the cube is going to feel so much faster, but it will also feel very controllable. It's kind of like everything you'd want from a speed cube is all included in this one bottle. That's insane. And another thing, well, this is for all of the lubes. The bottles are massive, way bigger than any other lubes I've tried in the past, so I suspect that they'll each be very long lasting. So you'd absolutely get your money's worth with any of these. I can see them lasting at least several years. Overall, I'm extremely satisfied with what all of these lubes offer, and whatever lubes you choose, the 4 options shown in this video would be my top recommendations right now. Again, thank you so much to speedcubing.org for kindly sponsoring this video and sending me these incredible lubricants for free to review. Remember that whenever you buy lubes and puzzles from their store, you can use the discount code SpeedyGoneCuber for 5% off your entire order. Thank you all so much for watching, and happy cubing!